A very good evening and thank you for joining GBS at 9. My name is Susan Nanga and our sign language interpreter tonight is Paul Mathenge. We begin this bulletin where President William Ruto has defended the government's move to replace the Linda Mama Maternal Health Scheme with the upgraded Linda Jamii program. Speaking in Kajiado, the president said Linda Jamii is more comprehensive, extending support beyond mothers to include children and spouses. The head of state dismissed criticism of the change, saying the new system deliver wider benefits to families. Our reporter explained the debate over the two health programs.
President Ruto acknowledged that Linda Mama was useful, but said it was focused on mothers. Linda Jamii, launched on June, now covers entire households, mothers, children and spouses, with access to more advanced services, including ICU and high dependency units.
The former president, to defend him that we should be a bit magnanimous to him. The Linda Mama program was a great program. We developed it under the Jubilee administration, under the leadership of President Uhuru. From the Linda Mama program, we designed the Linda Jamii program, which was an improvement from the Linda Mama program. So, Linda Mama was good, Linda Jamii is obviously better. From just delivery of mothers, which was the primary target of Linda Mama, we've now improved it to cover prenatal, before the delivery, postnatal, the delivery itself, postnatal, and it's no longer targeting Mama, it is targeting Jamii, Mama plus the children plus the household.
Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale backed the president, pointing out that more than 627,000 mothers have already benefited under Linda Jamii since its introduction.
627,155 mothers have delivered in the Republic of Kenya. Our delivery is about 1.1 million. We covered the mother, we covered the whole journey, and out of these, 41,000 of these were teenage mothers. All teenage mothers in our country, if they deliver free.
Former President Uhuru Kenyatta had criticized the program as untested, but the government insists the new scheme is stronger, broader and designed to deliver lasting impact for Kenyan families.
In the last general election, I endeavored to pass this message. Unfortunately, it fell on deaf ears and was lost in the noise of insults, character assassinations, myths and stories of dynasties and hustlers, and so on. Today, many of the gains we had in the past have been eroded. Linda Mama and others replaced by new, untried, untested schemes.
Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul M.
On matters to do with education, President William Ruto has commissioned Umma University in Kajiado County, located off Namanga Road, marking a major milestone in the expansion of higher education in Kenya. As part of the commissioning, the head of state unveiled the Dr. Abdurrahman Al Sumait Complex, a 1.4 billion shilling 10-story building designed to serve more than 10,000 students. He also presided over the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the University School of Engineering Phase 3, a project expected to boost the training of engineers and innovators. Let's take a listen.
The passion, I see the restlessness of the young people in Kenya as they look for education, as they look for knowledge, as they look for training.
President William Ruto, speaking during the commissioning of Uma University in Kajiado County, noted that the commissioning reflects the government's broader reforms in the higher education sector.
Our technical vocational education and training system has undergone extraordinary transformation. Enrollment has grown more than double from 297,000 in 2022 to 718,000 this year, driven by supportive policies and aggressive awareness campaigns. We have expanded national polytechnics from 11 to 29 today, greatly strengthening our skills training capacity.
He outlined measures already taken, including strengthened governance in the universities, restructured financing, and introduction of the student-centered funding model.
Scholarships and loans are now awarded on the basis of need, ensuring fairness and equal opportunity for all Kenyan learners. University fees have been reduced significantly. Students now pay between 5,800 and 75,000 a semester, depending on their ability and program of study. University funding has nearly doubled, raising from 45 billion in 2022-2023 to 82 billion in this year's budget, while help loans have more than doubled from 17 billion to 41 billion. In general, we have enhanced the budget for education in the last 3 years by about 130 billion shillings.
We have a very close working relationship with the university. Time and again, I have come to their halls here to attend functions that we carry as a county government. And I want to laud and emphasize the partnership we have with their School of Nursing, where their students practice at our referral hospital here in Kajiado. And that a number of Kajiado families have found support by the university here through their social programs.
These reforms have reduced fees, restored financial stability, and expanded access to higher learning across the country. According to the head of state, the government's investment in higher education is aimed at producing graduates who are skilled, ethical, and innovative.
To date, Direct Aid Society has invested over Kenyan shillings 5 billion in the development of Umma University. This funding has supported infrastructure, academic excellence, and student services. Since Umma University was established, we have disbursed over Kenyan shillings 2 billion in scholarship and loans, ensuring that financial hardship does not block the path to ambition.
He said the reforms are designed to prepare young people to create jobs, advance technology, and tackle pressing challenges in the society.
Just across, right here in the border of Kajiado, we have another university that is being built there, Kenya Advanced Institute of Science and Technology University. That university in Konsa City here is being built by resources given to us, a soft loan given to us by South Korea. And they've given us a facility of 80 billion Kenya shillings.
The commissioning of Uma University and the development of new facilities positions the institution at a better place to expand its enrollment and strengthen its academic role in line with the country's development agenda. Davis Karani for GBS News, Kajiado.
Now moving forward, the Member of Parliament Honorable George Kariuki has once again taken a swipe at former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, insisting that no one has been crowned king of the mountain. Kariuki, a close ally of President William Ruto, dismissed Gachagua's recent claims that Mount Kenya leaders should rally behind him. Instead, Kariuki stressed that the region must stand with leaders who champion development, not decisive tribal politics. The legislators defended the government's development record, rubbishing claims that Ruto's administration has abandoned the region. He pointed to ongoing projects in Dia as proof that working with the president is already bearing fruit. Among the key projects highlighted were the construction of the Kagio Town Road, the Kiangwashi Kiviringwi Road, and the Kwanje Shingongoi Kiangai Road, which are all scheduled for the commissioning before the year ends.
Tumekubaliana hatutaki siasa zenye hazina maendeleo. Sisi vile tunataka kusukuma maisha hapa Kirinyaga, hapa Ndia na hapa Kenya. Tunataka kusukuma maisha kwa njia ya maendeleo. Tuweke siasa dini kando, tusukume maisha, watu wetu waweze kupata infrastructure yenye hali nzuri, tuweze kupata stima. Na hapa kwetu Ndia vile iko siku hizi, najua nikianza kazi hii nilipea, tulikuwa connectivity ya electricity ilikuwa below 5%. Sasa tuko 90% huko, tunaenda kumalizia kazi ya stima. So mtu akisimama mbele yenu amwambie msianze kusikiza hivyo, msiangalie maendeleo, angalieni nini mambo ingine, mtakuwa mmepotea na mtakuwa mmepoteza nafasi ya kuinua maisha yenu. Mnataka kuinua maisha ama tupatane siasa ya dini? Mnataka kuinua maisha? So nyinyi wote mnataka kuinua maisha. Hamtaki mtu anasimama mbele yenu anaanza kuambia sasa kuanzia leo mimi ndiye mkubwa wenu, na mkielekea hii na hivi msiangalie mtu mwingine, mimi ndiye mtu wa maana zaidi kabisa, hao watu wengine wote ni bure kabisa, mimi ndiye niko na akili timamu, hao wengine hawana akili. Hao watu tumewaambia wao wakome, kwa sababu siasa, hakuna mtu anapeleka siasa nyumbani kwa watoto wake, hakuna mtu huwa anajiwekea ukubwa wa wananchi, ndio wanatupatia nguvu na mamlaka na heshima.
Tea farmers in Kirinyaga County are grappling with reduced bonus payments this season, with KTDN Zone 5 directors attributing the drop to the strengthening of the Kenyan shilling against the US dollar. The director said the currency shift has slashed export earnings despite strong factory performance. Here is more on that report.
The Kenya Tea Development Agency has confirmed a nationwide decline in second payment, commonly known as bonuses, for the 2024-2025 financial year.
Na ile kitu imefanya pesa zingine zipunguze ni kwa sababu ya dola. Dola last year ilikuwa inauza na 160. Lakini mwaka huu inabadilisha na shilingi 1029. Kwa hivyo ukiangalia lazima pesa zingeenda chini.
Na tungetaka kuambia wakulima wa majani chai kwamba bei ambayo tulilipa haikuwa mbaya sana. Na mtu ni vizuri kulinganisha factory yake na zingine, kwa sababu kuna factory zingine zimepoteza hata shilingi 10 kulinganisha bei ya mwaka huu na mwaka uliopita.
In Kirinyaga, Zone 5 director said the drop stems from currency exchange losses. Since tea is sold internationally in dollars, the stronger shilling has reduced the value of converted earnings. Ndima Tea Factory Director John Midhamo says Zone 5 performed well compared to other regions, with its 5 factories ranking amongst the top 15 nationally. Despite this, farmers have expressed frustration with protest erupting at Kangaita Tea Factory over low payout.
Zone 5 iko na factory 5. Ukiangalia wale wakulima ama shareholders wako kwa hizo factories ni karibu 70,000. Kwa hivyo na ile pesa sasa hivi imelipwa kwa hizi factories, kwa hii county peke yake imeleta karibu bilioni 5. Endeni muongee mambo yenu kinyumbani, muache kuleta siasa kwa majani chai. Mkigoma hakuna factory mtaenda kuharibu, mnaharibu tu factory yenu ya Kangaita, na hiyo quality pale kwa soko haitakuwa mzuri. Na unajua pale kwa soko ni kama mbuzi, ule mnunuzi ananunua ile imenona, yako ikikonda basi.
KTDA has announced reforms to stabilize earnings, including expanding orthodox tea production and investing in factory modernization. Directors are urging farmers to focus on quality productivity rather than strikes, warning that politicizing the issue could harm the long-term gains. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Ibrahim Said.
And now to the county news. Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti has taken bold steps to scale up support for persons with disabilities. In her latest initiative, the governor attributed bursaries and assistive devices, including wheelchairs, crutches, and walking frames, to beneficiaries across the county. The county's bursary allocation for differently abled students have also surged in the last 3 years, rising from hundreds of thousands to millions of shillings. The governor says her administration's vision is to make Machakos an inclusive county where every person, regardless of ability, can thrive. Paul Emaina now reports.
At Machakos Level 5 grounds, Governor Wavinya Ndeti handed out life-changing support to persons with disabilities.
Today, we are delivering 74 wheelchairs tailored to need, including cerebral palsy. They are not just devices, they are bridges to independence, mobility, confidence, and self-reliance. Through our health department, we have ensured continuous disability assessment at Machakos Level 5.
The governor also highlighted free weekly disability assessments to Machakos Level 5 Hospital, festive season support to PWD institutions, and the creation of a county board to manage empowerment funds.
With Mondays set aside for ENT and Wednesdays for other disabilities. My team in Machakos Level 5 General Hospital, asanteni sana, minawaambia, I keep on telling you, tenda wema, nenda zako. We have established the Machakos Persons with the Disability Board. And I want to assure the board members, yes, there is funds in the department for your board. Board wakikutana, lazima walipe pesa zao, the money is there.
She called on county departments, development partners, and the private sector to join hands in building a society where no one is left behind.
We are not just handing over items. We are affirming dignity, unlocking potential, and saying loudly and clearly, no one is being left behind in Machakos County. I see you. I hear you. I am with you. I am calling on every department in this county to step up. We need full collaboration in planning, implementation, monitoring, and in delivering real results for the PWD community in Machakos County. We are building an inclusive Machakos, not in theory, but in practice.
Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul Emaina.
Well, indeed, a step in the right direction. And now it is time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media platforms at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is always 21144. We'll be right back.
Coming up on Mtaa Madness. Love collides with betrayal. An unexpected truth will shake the neighborhood to its core.
Mwanga huu ankojemu atiajai kuletea kitu. Haya. Ndio hiyo. Miracle. Utopia anko. Usijali, hiyo ni mambo yangu. Check expiry 2022. Iko 2025. Ni mkebe ime-expire. Kitu iko ndani ni legit.
Decision, one secret, and a storm no one saw coming.
Apparently, the pastor's hood has sports betting court embroidered.
When trust breaks,
all rent must be paid by M-Pesa or bank transfer.
the fallout is inevitable.
Nauliza, na hii dili yako iko registered ya mchile kwa jina gani? Madam Transparency. Tuliona Road Surprise Limited. Kioski ya soko.
Next time, the past refuses to stay buried.
Promotion. Unajua? Unataka promotion my farm. Wamekulipia. So unatakiwa nashukuru sana.
Sasa ndio mnajua kugonga. What they don't know won't light their torches.
Top Madness, a choice that changes everything.
Hello kids, did you know a year has 31,557,600 seconds? Why do you think so? Exactly. There are 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, and 365 days in a year. We count the extra 0.25 because of leap years. When you multiply all those numbers together, you get a huge number of seconds. That's why a year feels long, but time still flies when you are having fun.
I'm 8 years old. I'm a grade 4 student at Waridi Utawala School. When I grow up, I like to be a supermodel, a doctor, a dermatologist, so that I can advise little children to deal better with their skin problems.
When was the first time ulianza sasa when was the first time you got your first title? Do you prefer painting, drawing, or playing outside?
Drawing.
Drawing. Oh, you also like to draw?
Dear future Aurelie, I'm advising you that to do better on your exams, to care for people, to care about yourself, and do good things. And if you have an opportunity, do it. Any opportunity, even if it's for modeling, dancing, singing, anything.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to the bulletin, and now to matters international. Uganda's presidential campaign officially kicked off ahead of an election that is likely to be a showdown between incumbent President Yoweri Museveni and his main rival Bobi Wine in a repeat of the 2021 election. The country's electoral commission could release an official campaign schedule for all 8 presidential candidates to organize their rallies across the country while avoiding location clashes. The commission last week cleared both President Museveni and Bobi Wine to enter the race at 81 years old. Museveni seeks re-election under the banner of his national resistance movement after nearly 40 years at the helm of Uganda. In 2017, lawmakers removed a constitutional age limit on the presidency, leaving room for Museveni to run for as long as he wishes. In a press conference last week, he highlighted his achievement and vowed to invest in education, infrastructure, and health, but critics have denounced his government human rights abuses and suppression of political opponents. Facing him, Bobi Wine embodies a hope for change. The singer turned politician received 35% of votes in the last presidential election in 2021, finishing in second place. Wine alleged his victory was stolen through widespread ballot stuffing and other malpractices. Electoral authorities denied the allegation. Let's take a listen.
You must get rid of poverty in these villages through PDM. And it's very easy. Omavu Nazarabavu. A poor person produces poor people. What sort of society are you building here? And the leaders both constituted that. They are talking about other things. This is really betrayal. So therefore, number one, wealth and jobs in the homes. And the solutions are there. PDM is there, and is there. The job of the leaders is Okulondora to follow up, arrest the thieves who are stealing this money. Please, let's not have poor people in the villages. Let's use government programs to get people out of poverty. They can get out of poverty. Because I saw it in the capital corridor, I saw it myself. We did it.
We are speaking more about democracy, good governance and security. We are pledging more commitment towards the regional integration and political federation.
Let us campaign as one group. We can reach anywhere. And this time is going to be very soft for us because we are going to use our structures to campaign.
I know that the whole country is watching us and they are listening to us. And the friends of Uganda across the world are listening to us. Therefore today I want to speak in English so that my message can go far and wide. You all remember that in 2021 we were not given a chance to speak deeply to you and to speak to your hearts. We were always harassed and chased around with bullets and tear gas. And they were hiding that in the name of COVID. Now there is no COVID. So we are going to talk to you. Until the regime finds another reason to stop us, we will talk to you. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to me very carefully. If you have a phone, please press record and record this message. If you are in any part of Uganda in a township and you have a crowd around you, please put this message on loudspeaker. Those of you that are on Facebook or TikTok, please go live now. And I don't want that to stop now. I want that to go on because that social media is going to be a very important weapon in this fight for freedom and democracy. Because in this campaign, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to focus on giving you.
Well, it will be an interesting couple of months ahead. And now shifting the focus, Madagascar's President Andre Joelina has dissolved his government following days of youth-led protest over water and electricity shortages. The demonstration, which began in Antananarivo, has left at least 22 people dead and more than 100 injured. Let's take a listen at the full reports.
The protest erupted on September 25th, triggered by chronic blackout and water cuts. Thousands of young demonstrators, many identifying as Gen Z, took to the streets. Security forces responded with tear gas, rubber bullets, and in some cases, live ammunition, and the unrest quickly spread to 8 cities.
The president is just lying. He doesn't listen to us. All we are asking for is that he leaves. We want change.
Water and electricity are pillars of development. You constantly say Madagascar must develop, but you have no solution, even though you have been in power for years.
The UN has condemned the use of unnecessary and disproportionate force, while Madagascar's foreign ministry disputes the casualty figures. President Rajolina, in a televised address, apologized for government's failure and announced the dismissal of his prime minister and cabinet. A dusk to dawn curfew remains in place in Antananarivo, where looting and arson have been reported.
Maybe we haven't met the needs you aspired to, or even listened to the cries and fears you experienced.
We are fighting against the daily power cuts, and when we claim our rights, we are attacked. We have the right to electricity and water.
The cabinet purge comes after days of deadly unrest, but for many protesters, the issue isn't who gets appointed. It's whether the taps run, the lights stay on, and the killing stops. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Ibrahim Said.
The race for Cameroon's presidency is officially underway, with candidates launching their campaigns across deeply divided nation. From bold defiance in the restive Anglophone region to strategic alliances in the capital, the tone is set for a high-stake contest, but with key figures still missing from the spotlight, uncertainty hangs in the air. Here's more on how the campaign has kicked off.
Cameroon's presidential race was officially launched in a tense and muted atmosphere. In Bamenda, Social Democratic Front candidate Joshua Osei defied a separatist-imposed lockdown, promising to end the nearly decade-long Anglophone crisis and bring peace to the troubled regions.
No other candidate knows the Northwest and Southwest better than I do. No other candidate comes from historic political party of the Northwest and Southwest. We believe we have the capacity to bring peace to this region.
In Yaoundé, Bello Buba Maigari opened his campaign with a boost, welcoming former candidate Ateki Sexta Carson into his coalition. Supporters cheered what they see as a united front, ready to lead the country forward.
You see me today as particularly happy candidate, not only to welcome a colleague who has now become a partner, but also my first official supporter. Before October 12th, we will move forward stronger and more united to secure victory.
The biggest question marks are the missing faces. Incumbent President Paul Biya remains unseen, even as his party begins campaigning. Opposition figure Issa Chiroma Bakari is also yet to appear, with his team finalizing his platform. With just 12 days to the election, the pressure is mounting, and nearly 8 million voters are waiting to be convinced. Elvis Muyodi, GBS News.
And now to matters in the Middle East. At least 91 Palestinian people are killed on Saturday in relentless Israeli attacks throughout the Gaza Strip, including at least 45 in the Gaza city, as military intensified its widely criticized ground invasion. According to a statement issued on Saturday, 1903 people have been killed in 133 attacks on central and southern Gaza since the forced displacement from the Gaza city began on August 11. Some 46% of all reported deaths across the enclave during that period. Here's more on that report.
Being a first responder can be a death sentence in Gaza, where Israel kills dozens of people as the bombs keep falling every hour of every day. Doctors, paramedics, and everyone who can sustain life here is a target. This is a moment Maron Abdin was shot by Israeli drone while on medical duty inside the hospital in Khan Yunis. shot in the head when Israeli forces targeted Nasser Hospital.
My son's sick and couldn't breathe except with a ventilator. Do you understand? Suddenly they said the hospital was bombed. I hurried over that night. We didn't know how to enter because of the bombing. We came at dawn and we tried every possible means to enter. We found the hospital had been bombed. This is wrong. Where are the international organizations? Where is the Red Cross? Where is the protection of hospitals?
Further north, more wounded civilians and bodies at Al-Shifa Hospital. No mattresses for their weak, wounded bodies and limited medicine to treat them.
We estimate that at least 25 babies are currently in Gaza City depending on incubators. They are at different locations across the area. At least 13 are estimated to be in Al-Halou Hospital, which has been reportedly attacked overnight.
The Ali Helo Hospital is badly damaged. Overnight, it was peppered with Israeli bullets and rockets, a war crime under international law, but common practice in Gaza, where Israel justifies the attack with unsubstantiated claims of use by Hamas fighters. Every medical facility is barely functioning due to Israel's blocking of medical supplies and constant bombardment.
Most of the medical staff evacuated the complex for the fear of the occupation army entering the hospital, and based on the previous bad experience when the occupation raided the complex more than once, arrested staff and killed some of them. Staff then relocated to Al-Ahli Arab Baptist Hospital. This morning, as it was confirmed that the soldiers withdrew, so staff went back to work, but as you can see, operating at a minimum level.
The Israeli military is rapidly leveling buildings as part of its campaign to seize Gaza City and forcibly displace its population. Once again, there is talk of peace, but the carnage and devastation for nearly 2 years have left Gaza unlivable. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul M. Minor.
It is time for a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into social media platforms at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is 21144. We'll be right back.
We're going to be talking about the rock industry and rock culture in Kenya.
When an artist goes into a studio thinking about a hit song, God walks out of the room. So msanii achaguangi hit, hakuna msanii. Msanii achaguangi hit, like even most of the hit songs, some of the songs zinakuanga zile msanii hata apendi kwa hiyo.
Really, that's true. This pressure that is coming in, you need to feed your audience what they want to be fed with, right? What is trending, you need to go as per what is trending. So if you ask a majority of people out here, yes, rock music is there, it is being played, but it's not recognized sana.
Some years back, reggae music used to have a stereotype too. Reggae ilikuwa watu wa bangi, watu
sijui.
Kama mtu alikufa, assuming someone died who died in the 90s, someone died in 1995, akifufuka saa hiyo na watu wanasikia reggae, he'd be very shocked. My goal is to demystify rock in Africa kwa sababu music is music, guitar, the rock, all music came from Africa. Muziki haina kabila, how do I put, muziki haina kabila. In fact, they'll be shocked, the rock music we know as of now came from black people. Wakamba ndio marockstar Kenya, high Kambas. They play the guitar, it's just an expression. Yeah? There's Kikuyu, gospel, hard rock, a guy called Kanyaki for example. So it's very misunderstood. Watu wanasema ni ya madevo, ni ya wazungu.
Coming up on Mtaa Madness. Love collides with betrayal. An unexpected truth will shake the neighborhood to its core.
Mwanga huu Uncle Jemu atiajai kuletea kitu. Haya. Ndio hiyo. Miracle. Utopia Uncle. Usijali, hiyo ni mambo yangu. Check expiry 2022. Iko 2025. Ni mkebe ime-expire kitu iko ndani ni legit.
Decision, one secret, and a storm no one saw coming.
Apparently, The pastor's hoodie has sports betting court embroidered.
When trust breaks,
all rent must be paid by M-Pesa or bank transfer.
the fallout is inevitable.
Nauliza, na hii bili yako iko registered ya Mchile kwa jina gani? Madam Transparency. Tuliona Pro Surprise Limited. Kioski ya soko.
Next time, the past refuses to stay buried.
Sasa ndio mnajua kugonga. What they don't know won't light their torches.
Tom Madness, a choice that changes everything.
Welcome to Fun Dance Class. Today we will continue learning about Jingle Bell Rock. Friends, first you cross your arm and put it on top of your head, and as you go in left side, you open it, then you come back to your place.
And then you make your leg 90 degrees, and then as you put your legs until 90 degrees, you need to jump a bit. 1, 2. Then as you jump a bit, you need to stretch your hands downwards.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to the bulletin. And now, after meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday, U.S. President Donald Trump said the leaders are close to achieving peace in the Middle East. He outlined his new 20-point plan to end Israel's war on Gaza and secure the release of Israeli captives still being held in the Palestinian territory. Trump introduced his plan to end the war, noting that many countries have contributed to its development.
The warm handshakes followed by a lengthy closed-door meeting during which the U.S. and Israeli leaders phoned the Prime Minister of Qatar so the Israeli Prime Minister could extend his apologies for the attack in Doha, and in which President Trump presented a 20-point ceasefire plan. It starts with a familiar formula: the return of captives being held in Gaza and the remains of those who have died, along with the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners being held in Israeli jails. But then it moves into unfamiliar territory for a U.S. proposal. The Israeli Prime Minister announced his acceptance of the plan.
I believe that today we're taking the critical step towards both ending the war in Gaza and setting the stage for dramatically advancing peace in the Middle East. And I think beyond the Middle East, in very important Muslim countries. I support your plan to end the war in Gaza.
But underlying the talk of peace, still the threat of violence. President Trump making clear the plan was not an offer to Hamas, but an ultimatum.
Hamas rejects the deal, which is always possible. We're the only one left. Everyone else has accepted it. But I have a feeling that we're going to have a positive answer. But if not, as you know, maybe you'd have my full backing to do what you would have to do.
No questions were taken, including that of a reporter who asked whether any Palestinian had been consulted in the drawing up of the 20-point plan. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul M. Minor.
And now shift the focus on what's happening in Indonesia. Rescuers are racing to reach students trapped under the collapsed Al-Qazini Islamic boarding school in East Java. At least 3 are confirmed dead, more than 100 injured, and dozens remain buried beneath unstable concrete. The building came down on Monday Trapping boys aged 12 to 18, rescue teams worked through the night, pulling out survivors after hours of digging. But the rebels shifted again Tuesday morning, forcing temporary halt. A notice at the school listed 65 students as missing. Officials later revised the number of those presumed buried to 38. Oxygen and water are being pumped into pockets of debris as families wait for news, some at hospitals, others near the wreckage. Senior Israeli officials continue to call for the mass displacement of Palestinians outside Gaza. Expansion of Israeli military operations towards the full control of Gaza by Israel and the re-establishment of settlements in Gaza. Some also call for annexation and advancement of settlements in the occupied West Bank that will bury the idea of the Palestinian state and call for stopping all humanitarian aid and life-saving services to Gaza until all hostages are released. A senior official released a statement asserting that there will be no Palestinian state to the west of the Jordan River and highlighting his past efforts to prevent the creation of Palestinian state, as Davis Karani now reports.
Senior Israeli officials continue to call for the mass displacement of Palestinians outside Gaza, expansion of Israeli military operations towards the full control of Gaza by Israel, and the establishment of settlements in Gaza.
Briefing the Security Council on implementation of its Resolution 2334, the Deputy Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process, Ramiz Al-Kabarov, said Israeli settlements have no legal validity and constitutes a flagrant violation of international law and resolution.
A senior official released a statement asserting that there will be no Palestinian state to the west of the Jordan River and highlighting his past efforts to prevent the creation of a Palestinian state. Israeli settlements have no legal validity and constitute a flagrant violation of international law and resolutions. They are systematically shrinking the territory of the Palestinian state and further entrenching Israel's unlawful occupation.
The Deputy Special Coordinator told the Council that Israeli settlement expansion continues to accelerate alongside proliferation of outposts and steps in the Israeli missions promoting the annexation of the West Bank.
The advancement of the E1 plan is a calamitous development. If implemented, it would effectively sever the connection between the northern and southern West Bank, further undermining the contiguity of an independent and sovereign Palestinian state, increasing risk of forced displacement, and fueling tensions. The situation in Gaza is morally, politically, and legally intolerable. Mass casualty incidents have mounted as operations in Gaza City expand. The collective punishment of Palestinian people can never be justified and must end immediately.
The first displacement of Palestinians' population from any part of the occupied Palestinian territory is unacceptable and violation of the international law and strongly rejects any form of ethnic cleansing.
Palestine will not disappear. But every day, children, women, men, entire families disappear. Communities are uprooted. Neighborhoods are turned to dust. Lives are shattered. Land is grabbed. Homes are demolished. This is the dark reality of life in Palestine under Israel's illegal occupation.
United Nations Security Council Resolution 2334, adopted in December 2016, called for an end to Israeli settlement activity in Palestinian territories and emphasized their illegality under international law.
The world mobilized for peace. President Trump assembled leaders from the region to push for an end of the war and to advance peace, to stop the bloodshed, to release the hostages and prisoners, to end the famine, to bring peace. President Trump also expressed clear rejection of annexation, which we welcome.
You can bury your head in the sand, or you can confront it. Israel does not have the luxury of ignoring it. We will confront terror. Those who turned the blind eye to Gaza 2 decades ago now see the results. We will not repeat that mistake in Judea and Samaria. Neither should this council. Palestinian Authority has not governed. It has not led. The Palestinian Authority has filled textbooks with hatred, glorified violence in public squares, and incentivized terror through its pay to slay policy.
We have chosen peace. You have chosen peace. There is a party that is beating the drums to move it in the direction of the West Bank, and we should succeed in not allowing them to do so.
Davis Karani, GBS News.
And with that, you have come to the end of the news bulletin. It's always a pleasure having you on board. Let's do this again next time, same channel. My name is Susan Nganga, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Paul Mathange. Have a good night.